Alright guys, this is the only way I'm thinking I can do this. Um, this is just some of the files. I have entire PDFs with like 100 photos on each one that I haven't even gone through. It's like a film strip, it's tiny. Friday, today is what, Wednesday? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I have been going through them, and not just photos. I haven't found videos or audio yet. Lots of photos. A lot of written things, not just the emails. Things that they were doing, like the DNA stuff. But here we go. I'm going to do a slideshow. This came unredacted, and since it wasn't showing anything, and it was showing the father's face, I'm assuming it's the father, that's why I did not cover up her face, or his face, I don't know. Gonna start it. This is a photo, as you can see, on the wall of a photo. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's go back. I'll do it myself. This is a photo on the wall of a photo of... You see that, right? It's a photo of a photo on the wall. And to the very right of that tarp, is that part of what it's sitting against? Or it kind of looks like I'm sorry, but it kind of looks like at least one body covered with a tarp, if you ask me. I mean, that would be the buttocks. That could be, I don't know, the rest of the butt. I mean, but here it looks like a head, like an arm, like they're slumped over. The leg, butt, waist, and they're slumped over with their head down, and the arm. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and other people are saying the same thing. That's kind of what it looks like, but who am I to say? Now, if you looked at one of my other things, normally you'd say, oh, no big deal. They did human hunts. They would pay people, like wealthy people, like go on safari, and they pay to do a trophy hunt, get a trophy, a carcass of an animal that they shot, that they killed, murdered, whatever. Well, they were human hunting, and there's very many that have corroborated that. From both sides, from some of the emails and things, but they were doing that. And what worries me here is that, like, some low mark, like black market, kind of like video of something like doing something like that. Oh, because it's blacked out. He's obviously nude or near nude. You can see like a thong here, but he's probably got it hanging out. That's why they've got it blocked. I would assume could be crotchless, but this concerns me because this kind of gives the impression that it's verifying that those happened and not just by accounts. Okie dokie. This one is disturbing. I wouldn't doubt that that's Epstein arm because he was hairy. You see that in videos on his arms, on his chest. He was hairy. But those legs, they don't look like a very skinny girl, like woman or even teen. Those look like very small legs. He also controlled what they ate, these girls. So, so they couldn't like binge eat and get fat because then he wouldn't make money on them. But this for me is super disturbing because it looks super sterile in the background. I mean, really. I mean, yeah, okay. And the pose is just, I just, no. It's just not, no. The hand looks like looks bigger, you'd say. Because the first thing I thought, it was like, yeah, but the hand is like an adult hand, but it's not really. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure what this is, but it doesn't look good. And the fact that they blocked stuff out, you wouldn't be seeing maybe the chest, but yeah. This one. This is this is tame. This is tame, sweetie. Two guys. You see the girls? Or is it a guy? I don't know. It's a guy, girl, old creepy ass dude. Not a painting. Yeah, that's a very young girl. I mean, literally, like, doesn't even look like she's preteen. Like, yeah, I mean, we're talking less than adolescent as far as the thing is, though. Like I said, he limited their diets a lot, and when he could or tried, yeah, because and there was some that was saying you need to lose some weight, and part of that is the less fat, the less boob, the more they look like little girls, longer. It's kind of. And you might think, Judy, how do you know all this creepy shit? I was a huge fan in my 20s, from my 20s on, 30s, to true crime, because that's serial. No. Some of us are interested in it because the psychology. I always wondered, what exactly is the snapping point for people? Why, or is it learned? Is it shaped? Is it just there? No matter how well they were treated, they would have been a scumbag. So. Plus, I worked 10 years in as a corrections officer in a state prison in the Southwest, in Arizona. So, like, you hear shit, you read shit. Between all of that, you learn shit. Which you never had to learn. Okay. Yeah, I think we can all see what this appears to be. Definitely like chained. So, yeah. This. Yeah. I talked about one of Maria Farmer's paintings, about how it shows people strung up on the trees, and a lot of people lead like with their hanging like off the branch by their knee, with their legs over a branch and hanging. But I came across one earlier. It was a black and whitish looking thing and very grainy, smaller. And it appeared it was two girls. And because it was black and white, the wrist bindings were white, and it was difficult unless you knew what that painting depicted. And then I was like, oh, fuck. The minute I saw this, or the other one was the one I saw first, I was like, oh, God, this proves that they had them tied to trees. Maybe we don't see a picture of the way she depicted, but yeah. And then I came across this one the other day, and I was like, you can clearly see her hand pound, and you can clearly see the angle she's standing, half squatting, and you can clearly see the guy behind her using the tree branches that are holding her captive. He's using the same things that are holding her captive to steady himself so he can assault her. And that is fucking evil. That's wrong. This is wronger. Now, you might have seen some bondage equipment. This is a very young girl. You see, she has a ball gag in her mouth. This stuff even adult women can't handle, the subjugation. You're blindfolded, you're gagged, her upper arms are bound. She's got some sort of binding here, which is probably keeping the arms back. And he's pulling on it. As you can see, he's using it. Again, using what's keeping her captive against her even more. You see she has those, but they're not used right now because he needs her to spread her legs. And from the angle of this, it's not ordinary, if you understand what I'm saying. From the angle of this, I read a lot about power and rape and stuff because I am an SA survivor. One other thing that's now serving me to know what I'm looking at, which is why, even though this is triggering for a lot of SAs people, I have to, because I have insight on some of this stuff that others might not recognize. This is a fucking evil picture. That video you saw, it sounded like little girls almost squealing. He was chasing a fucking older girl. See, the thing is, Epstein did things like took them to all these amazing places that girls their age, even in their 20s, would never be able to afford to go to. All these different countries and sites, and he made things fun, you know what I mean? Normal moments. And that's another very sick part of it, because he worked hard. They both worked very hard at making it feel like a family. Like, we treat you well, you have nice clothes, because they have to keep them looking nice and feeling good. Otherwise, they're not going to perform. There's a difference when somebody's being forced to do something and the other parts of their life aren't that bad, so they can act and pretend they're doing a porn film, which a lot of them didn't know, but they were doing. But it also does that Stockholm syndrome thing when you make it. He was very brilliant as far as that goes. Like Donald, very smart in criminal and manipulative ways. Other ways, no. This is very disturbing to me. Is that blood? Why? What's going on here? I don't know. I don't know. If anybody wants to tell me what they think, because I'm not really sure what's happening here. It doesn't look good. This is another one. If you know what I know, this girl, her face would be not acting for the thing. This is, number one, you see her hand? It's gripping. It's gripping. This is her gripping the bedclothes, because she may be gagged, who knows. Another thing is, if you look at the angle that her body line, does that bruising? Is that a bruise right there? I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised. I'm trying to get past the visceral abhorrence of these photos, because people need to see them. They need to see what they need. You can say these young women, but you need to fucking see. This is a young girl, people. A fucking young girl. Look at the style of clothes. And you see her spine. If you go with the leg, where is he again? that doesn't look like a position you could effectuate without being the A. And because his arm, he'd have to be scooted down lower for that to be a typical entry presence. Tell me, I'm trying to phrase this, but I don't think that's your typical type. That's the type that a lot of women will not allow. It's the type you do with another guy. Let's put it that way. This pretty self-explanatory, but definitely looks like freaking porn shots, porn movies. I mean, so you see, they were doing the porn ring. It wasn't just servicing pedophiles. It was providing a buffet for pedophiles, but it was also making money by then filming and videoing and photographing the instances, and even photographing normal life with just them and with the girls naked or whatever. So they're never in the faces in the shots. And they made money that way too. And all this shit was the side hustle. Believe it or fucking not, that is not the main. It's the main physical, oh my God, to actual people. But the main thing was the other shit. The financial power, having these wealthy people from all countries in your pocket because of this. They know this shit, or they know other stuff that might not have anything to do with the sex part of his franchise, his enterprise, shall we say. It's just that, the money laundering, the getting into the politics of different countries and manipulating things like Russia with getting Trump winning twice. Then the only reason they didn't do it during the pandemic was because why he didn't get it successive was because everybody voted mail in that he didn't expect to. And they didn't prepare to really attack mail-in voting because they didn't do it often. Mostly it was Democrats. So yeah, that and the arms and the spying, all that shit was the main shit. This stuff was a side hustle because it seemed more scandalous, because you have pictures. You don't have pictures of all the other things I talked to you about. You have paperwork, but that's dull. People like, oh, I gotta read. Exactly. And they use this as a side hustle because, yeah, sure, I was into it. That's cool. And they're both very narcissistic and very sick, sadistic narcissists. And so is Donald. Donald was violent with the girls, too. That's pretty self-explanatory. And also why it makes sense that he always was, trying to control the way they eat and their exercise, all that. Because some of these guys wanted to do all these poses that they see in the videos. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. These guys want these, even just regular prostitutes, regular, people. They want them to do this crazy shit, some of them, because that's what they saw in the porn movies. But these girls were being told in emails and things like that, well, act more like you see in the porn, because that's what they like to see, like to get. You see how it's the patriarchy who made the script of this? Women have to do all this special shit just for our pleasure and no one else. Yeah. Oh my God. Plus, I mean, you'll see in other photos, I'm not going to mention it every time, but that does have a military feel to the guy. And there are others that you just have that military or paramilitary, and that doesn't necessarily mean just military. I mean, that could be like white supremacy, that kind of people. So I don't know which they are, but yeah, another one that's not even subjecting the girls to one-on-one. Let's just do 2, 3, 4-on-1. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong or that's right. If it's all consensual, that's your business. But, and I'm not even saying ew type of thing. I'm not being judgmental. I'm just saying most women that I've ever, known are, yeah, I'm not into that type stuff. Only a few have said, well, I'd be interested just to see what it was like. But the thing is, you can't just call it off if you, in the middle of everything, you get uncomfortable, because that's wrong. I mean, you can, but, and that's why people get into positions that they don't realize how much they were supposed to know beforehand. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. And yeah, is that two girls there? It kind of looks like it. Pretty young too. And they also dress them. You've seen some of the clothing. It's like all sheer. It's like a school costume, a school. Actually, their school uniforms modeled after like in Japan and stuff like that. And I think some of them came from there, but they're sheer in parts that normally the schoolgirl ones aren't. So you get that little girl look for people that are maybe older, but they kind of are really skinny and short, so they kind of, if you dress them a certain way, they look more young. I think that's part of what this stuff is. I'm just going to say it. The face came like that. Is that kind of, am I crazy? Does that look like what? Either Bill Gates or Woody Allen? Seriously. For reals, guys. Honestly. It totally, like, just the body, the way they're standing, the body language. It kind of looks like it could be, and the shape and the hair. I know it's very grainy, because it was actually a smaller picture, probably. So, what do you think? It's only like it's less than 300 pixels either way, so that's why it's, but it does, doesn't it? Kind of crazy shit. Yeah. I really don't need to explain this one. And that's it. So, yeah.